I got our chances, but I think throughout the whole game they threw themselves in front of every ball, every shot we had. That's also what they did in the first half hour. And then we conceded the 1-0, and afterwards we weren't able to play the way we did in the first half hour.
I must ask you about 1-0, 13 days on from the Etihad. Did you have a thought that it might have been similar to Andy Robertson?
I don't know. The thing I heard was that it wasn't offside. So if it's not offside, then there's nothing to debate. So after half an hour, I think we were, which is maybe quite normal, the better team. We were creating, was waiting for us to score a goal, but then the game completely changed by that set piece, because the hour afterwards, we were maybe trying but hardly created any chance, and they scored two.
What do you put that down to, that last hour then today?
It's if things go well, if things go bad, it's always my responsibility, and we weren't able to create enough, or maybe to say anything in the second part. I tried to adjust a few things that didn't really work out, so players tried, kept on trying, but unfortunately we weren't able to score a goal, because you never know in this stadium, if you score a goal then something can happen. Maybe you can turn the game around, but I tried a few things that didn't work out, and that's why I say it's in the end, if things go well or don't go well, it's my responsibility.
How damaging was the start of the second half, 39 seconds in to lose that goal?
Yeah, of course, damaging, because it was already hard to be 1-0 down against a team that's throwing themselves in front of every ball, blocking every shot. So it wasn't that easy to create chances, especially after the 1-0. So then to go 2-0 down, another knock for us, another boost in confidence for them. That's of course far from helpful for us.
What about the bigger picture? 6 league defeats in 7. Where are you at moving forward now?
Now we're in a very bad spell, and that's simple. And we also know that in a few days we have to play for the Champions League again, and not many days later, I think in 7 or 8 days, play 3 Premier League games. So it's nice if you work somewhere and things go really well, then it's nice to be part of it. Now it's a bit more difficult, but keep our head up. Work incredibly hard and try to turn things around, and that has been very difficult till now, but that's what we are trying every single day here at Liverpool.
And given the experience and characters you've got in that dressing room, that's important in a period like this?
Yes, of course. It's always helpful to have experienced players, to have quality players, and it's my job.
As reigning champions, the side that leads the way, unfortunately, Gary, you were part of that Chelsea team that lost 7 of their first 12 games as defending champions in 2015, 2016. Jose Mourinho lost his job in December of that year. You know exactly what this Liverpool team is feeling and going.
Thanks for
sorry, Gary. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
great.
hoping you could kind of give us some insights and help us understand what it's like at Liverpool right now.
14-15 season, when we obviously won it, the season after we finished 10th. It's a real head-scratching moment, because the core of the squad, the bulk of the squad is the same. And it comes down to a little bit, like I said earlier, even top players, a little bit of seed of doubt, a little bit of confidence is dinted a little bit. I remember the title seasons that we won the title, feeling like so confident in the tunnel coming out, almost like an arrogance to go, I wonder how many we're going to win by today. It was that kind of momentum, that kind of confidence. When things are going against you, like this Liverpool team now, you hear a few rumblings, you hear the crowd are not happy, you hear the outside noise a little bit from the press. And that's when you really need to stick together and have real big characters in the dressing room. Because it's easy, as Michael will know, as anyone who played football, to point a finger at times when things are not going well. Oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. When really, if you dig down, you dig deep, you work hard, and you bounce back. We did that the next season, we won the league. So
right back at you, Joe.
Yeah, that's called the last laugh.
Right back at you. But no, jokes aside, I think it is. It is one of them. It's kind of one of them ruts that's very hard to get out of. And the only thing you can do is stick together, have belief, work hard, and you do come out the other end. But obviously, this Liverpool team are used to winning football matches. They're not used to going on runs like this. So it does need, big characters in the dressing room.
And I think another thing to understand is that everybody will have their own little theories on what's going wrong and everything. And people just want that one answer, but a lot of the time you're doing exactly the same. The same players that are winning the league. It's the same training, the same manager, the same training ground, everything's the same. So it's very hard sometimes to put your finger on it, and it can just be a little lack of confidence, and when things start going away from you, it's hard to recoup them and sort of turn the tide in a way.
Yeah, back-to-back 3-0 defeats now for Liverpool. We are going to go back to Anfield and get some reaction to that loss. Here is their captain, Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, it's another tough day for Liverpool. Why isn't it working at this moment in time?
We conceded too many easy goals. I think the first half an hour we were good, created good opportunities. They scored, obviously, on a set piece again. That you can ask yourself if it was in front of Alisson, but it counted, so you 1-0 down. And I think overall, I think we were just not good in terms of the battles, the challenges, the second ball fight, too rushed. So it's a very difficult situation at the moment, but it was a tough day.
When you talk about the set piece, which you conceded from, very similar to what happened with you, Manchester City, but obviously the opposite outcome. But overall, all the players were up to try and defend that goal, like all 11 players, and don't usually see that. Is there a sense of nervousness about the team?
Well, there's nervousness, I think, after we conceded, but not during that particular moment. I think you sense that you want to rush things after we conceded, trying to find the equalizer as soon as possible, and obviously that's human when you're in a difficult moment. But yeah, I don't think there is nervousness before a set piece. I think we cleared the ones before, yeah, in the end, obviously, like I said, we're just in a very difficult moment, and we have to get out of it. But you don't get out of it by just speaking about it. And like I said many times, I'm obviously here speaking to you guys because I have to. I'd rather sort it out with my team on the pitch, and that will take a lot of hard work by the looks of it.
But you do take on that responsibility, don't you? You do talk about it as the leader, as the captain. You take on so much responsibility for this team. How do you go about then finding this solution to this problem that you're in?
Yeah, it's definitely a problem, and obviously, like you said, I take responsibility. But I think everyone in the team, not only the starters but the guys around as well, have to take responsibility as well, because football is a team game. We all do it together, and we need everyone at their best. And in order to win games, you have to take responsibility. And that's what I've mentioned as well. And now you have to, you have to digest this, take it on the chin, and work harder. And obviously, I've been saying it quite a lot already.
Van Dijk answering some very important questions, and I think there are a few things to pick up after that. Gary, you were going to talk about momentum, and he said after we conceded, he admitted there was a nervousness there. We talk about momentum when you're winning, but it goes the other way too, doesn't it?
Yeah, he looked down, confused there, didn't he, slightly? And I think momentum does go both ways. You know, it's the best feeling in the world when you're winning week in, week out, going off the back into another game, off the back of wins. It's very easy to play in them situations. The momentum can also go the other way, you know, where you feel fragile. Even down to going into the training ground. You know, everyone's got a spring in a step after the back of a win going into the training ground. The mood is low, and it's about big characters like himself to pick the mood up, to pick the dressing room up, and to keep working and come out the other end, like I said earlier.
Yeah, very difficult as well, talking about leadership and the role that he has to play to somehow pick this team up.
Well, it is. I mean, there's obviously leaders in that group, and this has been a successful group over a long period of time, so I don't think there's any doubts. And if anybody out there has got doubts as to whether Liverpool will bounce back in the future, then, you know, I would suggest they're very wrong. I mean, but these periods happen in life. Forget football in life, and sometimes you can't put your finger on it. If you go into that dressing room now, there's not one reason why everyone's saying, right, we need to do this and everything will be all right. It'd be so easy then. Look at Virgil van Dijk, he can't really give you an answer. They're doing the same thing, they're trying the same. You know, it's not like all of a sudden we're doing something that's alien to them. So it's just not going. But what does happen is when you start losing that confidence, something that knocks you in a game, as I say, they play brilliant for 30 minutes. They don't score, and then all of a sudden they concede one, and that's it. It's like everyone falls to pieces. And that's what confidence does, and that's what the momentum does, and then it's hard to get out of that rut. So I bet you the training level is absolutely the same. I bet you in the next few days, Arne comes out and says, training's absolutely fantastic, they look sharp. And it will be, because you're doing nothing different. And they're playing brilliantly as well in patches. But as soon as something goes wrong, that's when your confidence starts ebbing away. And of course, if you can continue that game today, Liverpool wouldn't have scored. It probably would have ended up 4-0, because that's just what happens. And it happens in life, it happens in football. There's no one reason that you can say, right, do this and everything's going to change.
And the mindset, Michael, last season probably is they go a goal down, and in the head they're going, it's fine, we'll win 2-1, 3-1. Yeah. Whereas now the seed of doubt is they go a goal down, and they're almost subconsciously thinking, not again, is this happening again? Do you know what I mean? So it's that kind of mindset, that little shift, albeit slight, is they need to get back on track.
And when you're dealing with the top end here, we're not in the, the guys aren't playing in the 5th division, whereby, you can get away with mistakes, things like this. When you are talking like 1% here and there, every team in the Premier League is good nowadays. Yeah. I mean, even 10, 15 years ago, you'd probably get away with it against some teams. Now, a team that are in the bottom 3 before this, they can go and beat the champions 3-0. And it just shows you what a bit of confidence can do from Nottingham Forest's point of view as well. They're on the up at the moment. Liverpool are feeling the effects, and that's what happens.
Yeah, the finest of margins, as you mentioned. Let's look at the goals then. The first one came from Murillo. Plenty of talk about this one, given how similar it was to what happened against Manchester City.
Yeah, as I said at half-time, I've got no problem with this being given a goal. I actually don't think Alisson is impeded in terms of his vision. I don't think he gets to it anyway. Of course, he's appealing. Everybody would. I think what you've got the problem with, you can just see the left foot there, Nottingham Forest play, right in front of Alisson as well. Yeah. The thing that Liverpool fans will have the problem with is that that's very, very similar to the Andy Robertson goal, or the Andy Robertson offside decision. It was the Virgil van Dijk goal a couple of weeks ago at the Etihad. Now, I know he doesn't duck, but he is in the middle of the goal, in front of the goalkeeper. So some people will say, well, if you're 3 yards out and central to the goal, then you have to be involved in the play. My opinion is that should have stood, but my opinion is the goal that Liverpool scored a couple of weeks ago should have stood as well.
Yeah, I think the main difference for the Match Centre, Premier League Match Centre's official tweet that came out was that one was an action to play the ball or to move, and one wasn't. That's the difference they've made between those two incidents.
That's wrong. Because there's no action to play the ball. Andy Robertson was ducking out of the way. It's if you make a movement towards the ball. He wasn't. He was getting out of the way of it. Donnarumma in the Manchester City goal, and I'm sure we will see it, we saw it at half-time, that he had a perfect view, and even though he dived, he was never getting close to it anyway. It's very similar. I mean, this is one angle that you can show. The better angle is behind from Virgil van Dijk's perspective. You can see Andy Robertson there diving, but there, total clear view. He's getting nowhere near it as Donnarumma. I mean, it's very similar in so many ways.
Gary, how did you see it?
I saw it as a great finish by a centre-back. I think the goal should have stood today, clearly. And I thought the two centre-backs for Nottingham Forest were absolutely terrific.
Partnership with Send